Tonight on NewsWatch Ole Miss, major developments today in former President Donald Trump's legal battles in New York.
Plus, the three-day IMC Connect event started today. NewsWatch Ole Miss starts now. Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm Olivia Wright.
And I'm Walker Farmer. We have some serious weather coming in this evening.
Yes, Walker, Oxford could be seeing some heavy rain and extreme winds tonight. We have weather anchor Garyana Williams here to tell us more about that weather we should be experiencing. Garyana, what can we expect for tonight?
As we take a look into our current conditions, we can see that the rain is already starting to roll in. So if you take steps outside tonight, make sure you pack a light jacket and make sure that it has a hood on it because the rain is slowly starting to come down. And as of right now, the wind is about 20 miles per hour, but it will continue to pick up into the night. And we can see that we have a front coming in from Louisiana and Arkansas, and these winds will pick up to about 52 miles per hour. So if you don't have to go out tonight, please stay inside because we will be reaching some dangerous wind areas around tonight. And when we come back, we will have more on these conditions and more updates about the weather.
Thank you, Garyana, and she will be back to keep us updated on tonight's weather. Well, for national news, there were major developments today regarding former President Donald Trump's legal battles in New York. On the civil side, he got a reprieve in the nearly $500 million bond that was due, but he was also dealt a blow during a hearing for his criminal hush money trial. CNN Julia Benbrook has the latest.
In a New York civil fraud trial, former President Donald Trump was given more time to post a massive bond while he appeals the ruling. The appeals court gave the former president 10 more days to come up with the money and cut the amount necessary to $175 million.
We have no guarantees of it, but it seems like it's a number that's reachable for him.
That decision gives Trump a major lifeline as he was facing a Monday deadline to secure a bond for the full $464 million judgment.
It will be my honor to post, and we'll post whatever is necessary, whether it be cash or security or bonds.
Meanwhile, in a separate criminal case, a judge dismissed the former president's motion to delay the trial further. Jury selection in Trump's first criminal trial is now expected to start April 15th. This trial is related to Trump's alleged efforts to falsify business documents related to hush money payments made to cover up an alleged affair with adult film star Stormy Daniels. Trump has pleaded not guilty and has denied the affair.
This is a witch hunt, it's a hoax.
This could potentially be the only one of the 4 criminal trials the former president is facing that would occur before the November election. In total, the former president faces 88 criminal charges across 4 indictments. Reporting in Washington, I'm Julia Benbrook.
Here on campus, the IMC Connect event began today. The School of Journalism and New Media is hosting its annual event that connects seniors with different well-known companies.
The 2024 speakers will be coming from C-Spire, FedEx, CVS, Toyota, and several more. This gives multiple students the opportunity to connect with those businesses to get future internships and jobs.
I went to one this morning about portfolio creation and your own website for marketing yourself, which I thought was really interesting. I've just heard a lot of insight from other people. I got a lot of good advice from multiple different perspectives, it was just new things to learn about.
If you have not registered, no worry. You can go to IMC Connect and register for an event and time. The event will be held through tomorrow and Wednesday.
A solar eclipse is coming April 8th, and Oxford is preparing for it. The Center for Mathematics and Science Education and the Lafayette County and Oxford Public Library are teaming up to host an event for 2 days before the actual eclipse.
Since the solar eclipse will occur on a Monday, the CMSE will hold a come and go event on Saturday, April 6th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the library. The next total eclipse or solar eclipse to sweep across the U.S. and even come close to Oxford will not occur until 2045. Coming up, major changes are coming to the air travel industry, with a CEO announcing that he is stepping away. Stay tuned to hear what company.
Plus, another company has announced that it is planning to crack down on customers who are not members. Can you guess who? These stories and more after the break. NewsWatch Ole Miss will be right back.
Mississippi.
Hey, Mississippi.
Don't trash Mississippi.
Because picking up litter costs us time
and money.
MDOT spends $3.2 million a year picking up litter.
That's money that could be used to maintain roads and bridges,
patch potholes,
and focus on improving Mississippi's infrastructure.
Please help us help you.
We can't do it without you.
Don't trash Mississippi.
Don't trash Mississippi.
We're here when you're ready.
Mom, I got it. What are you doing in there?
I got stuck.
Oh. Are you a dog?
I wouldn't do that. Have you seen the pliers? Where'd you find those?
It's not your birthday.
Sorry.
Bye, Grandpa.
Bye, Grandpa.
Take care of yourself.
What are you doing? What are you looking for?
Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. More turbulence in America's aviation industry. Boeing CEO says he's out, announcing that he'll leave the company by year's end. This as the Federal Aviation Administration says it's increasing its presence in United Airlines operations, more closely looking at workflows, manuals, and facilities amid rising in-flight safety incidents. Laura Geary has more.
In the air that we don't have 100% confidence in.
That was Boeing President and CEO Dave Calhoun back in January, after assuring lawmakers on Capitol Hill of Boeing's commitment to safety and transparency. Now Calhoun says he's stepping down, along with two other top Boeing execs, by year's end. In a letter to employees Monday, Calhoun called the Alaska Airlines accident a watershed moment for Boeing, saying the company must continue to respond to the accident with humility and complete transparency. The Alaska Airlines door plug blowout in January is just one of several high-profile Boeing-related flight mishaps so far this year. Calhoun told employees that during this transition, Boeing will remain squarely focused on returning the company to stability after extraordinary challenges in recent years. Over the weekend, the FAA announced it's increasing its oversight of United, Boeing's largest U.S. customer, to ensure that the airline is complying with safety regulations, identifying hazards, and mitigating risk, a move that could impact United's future plans and decisions.
Whether to drop or expand a route, whether to increase the number of flights to a city, those kinds of decisions may be pushed back.
While that may not cause delays for current routes, it could mean the busier high-demand routes may not offer more options to passengers anytime soon. I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
In other news, it is being reported by Russian state media that at least 40 people are dead and more than 100 were injured following an armed attack at a concert hall near Moscow Friday. ISIS is claiming that they are responsible for their attack, but there is no evidence of this. Footage shows 4 individuals carrying long rifles open fire on people in the shopping center just outside the Corpus City concert hall. It also shows the building eventually being engulfed in flames.
you're a fan of the Costco hot dogs and frozen yogurt, make sure to have Costco membership before returning. The Costco company is cracking down on non-members enjoying the food court. This rule has always been in place, however, it is going to start to be strongly enforced. The membership card rule will officially be effective on April 8th for Costco's across the country. This rule also comes from analysts saying that the revenue brought in by Costco members last year is nearly $4.6 billion. Just how fast can a ATV go? A driver in Florida may have answered that question. Earlier today, Florida police were led on a wild chase due to an ATV rider who took off through 2 different counties. Police have not yet stated the man's identity, but he was ordered to stop in Miami, but he refused and hopped on Interstate 95. While heading north to Fort Lauderdale, there were multiple police helicopters and cruisers chasing the ATV. The man was finally stopped and arrested in Fort Lauderdale. Newly obtained security video shows what appears to be a man taking photos of multiple passengers' boarding passes while they weren't looking, then using a picture of one of their tickets to board a Delta flight. It happened earlier this month at Salt Lake City International Airport. According to court documents, the 26-year-old man had a standby ticket for Southwest Airlines flight. He used that ticket to get past security, but the flight was full and he was rescheduled on a later flight. Authorities say that's when he decided to get on a Delta flight instead. Once he was on the plane, he allegedly hid out in a bathroom before flight attendants figured out that he didn't have a ticket. He faces a count of stowing away on a vessel or aircraft.
If you're a fan of Nike sneakers, some of them may become more difficult for you to find. That's because Nike wants to slash supply of its Nike Air Force One and Nike Pegasus sneakers in order to boost demand. Nike's goal is to prevent discounting and make room for its newer lines. Discounting has become a big problem for the sports apparel giant. Growth has slowed for some of its products, and stores have been promoting the shoes to clear inventory. Earlier this year, Nike slashed its revenue outlook and said it was looking for as much as $2 billion in cost savings over the next 3 years. The world's highest peak has a growing human waste problem. In an effort to cut down on pollution, Nepal is now requiring Mount Everest climbers trek down with their own poop. And while that might sound gross, it shouldn't be smelly. Climbers will be given 2 poop bags, which can be used 6 times each. The bags contain chemicals to solidify the waste and make it odorless. This season, an estimated 1,200 people will be on the mountain, according to the Nepal Mountaineering Association.
A massive storm is slamming the plains with a blanket of snow from Colorado all the way to Minnesota through Tuesday. But now is not the time many want to be thinking about blizzards. As Kirsten Mitchell reports, the winter weather is really impacting their spring break travel plans, with delays and cancellations at the Minneapolis airport. Even though it's not snow, the city of Oxford is also experiencing its own serious weather. Let's check in with the weather anchor, Garyana Williams, for a look at tonight's conditions.
Coming up, we will take a deeper look into the thunderstorms that are persisting into the night evening, and we will also take a look at our 5-day forecast. There'll be more after the break.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Bring it.
Time out, guys. I'm late to dinner. My mom's gonna kill me. Catch you guys later.
Mom wants us home. Okay. Bye, guys.
You guys need a ride?
Sure. Yeah. All right. How about some one-on-one? I gotta go eat, man. Sorry, I'll see you later.
For those of you all that are just joining us, the weather conditions outside are continuing to go further. The rain is steadily coming down and the wind is picking up. As of right now, we have a 20-mile-per-hour wind, but it will pick up to about 52 miles per hour later into the evening because those gusts of winds are continuing to come from Louisiana and Arkansas. And then later into tonight, we have scattered thunderstorms, and we'll also have winds that will continue to pick up. And then tonight's forecast, there will be a wind advisory. So if you don't have to go outside, please try to stay in because those winds will be very dangerous and the rains will persist throughout the evening. The rain will start to clear up around 2 a.m. in the morning. So if you're a late traveler, try to leave earlier so you'll have time to get through the rain. And as we look out into our regional forecast, we can see that the temperatures are slightly consistent, but as we go more eastern, we can see that Tupelo and Current are slightly higher as we go out into the week. And then tonight, we can see there's also a fog advisory, so make sure you're driving carefully as you go out into the evening. And as I said, if you don't have to leave the house, try to stay in so you can be protected and cautious of the weather conditions. And tomorrow, as we go into the weather, you can see that the rain is slowly leaving our forecast. When you wake up in the morning, it will be slightly cloudy, but as we continue into the evening, the sun will start to come out and the wind will slow down and you won't have to worry so much about the wind conditions. And then as we go into the tomorrow's temperatures throughout the region, we can see that they start to decline a little in the northern areas, but they still continue and increase in the eastern portion of the region. And as for your 5-day forecast, you can see that the sun starts to come out throughout the week. With tomorrow, it's increasing to 67 degrees. And overall, throughout the weekend, if you have plans, you can make sure that you'll be fine because the sun will be out and shining, and you can put those jackets away.
Wow, there seems to be a lot of bad weather right now, but that's okay. Let's just hope it goes away before tomorrow as the baseball team is playing Austin Peay.
I agree, Walker. I really do. Well, speaking of sports, Campbell, what can we expect?
Well, Olivia, coming up, I'm going to talk about Ole Miss baseball being back in Oxford after a series against Tennessee, and the women's basketball matches up against Notre Dame this afternoon. Check back in after the break to see how these Rebs played.
Incredible women. I wish they had those kind of cool careers for women when we were growing up.
So in this flashback, we're all the same age?
Yeah.
What does everyone want to be when they grow up?
If I say 2 jobs, do I get extra credit?
No.
I want to make immersive video games. I want to revolutionize 3D printing. I want to analyze data from the cloud.
I want to be a meteor.
You mean meteorologist?
No.
That's great, Al. Follow your dreams.
For the record, I was a baby in the 70s.
Worried about your friend, but don't know how to reach out?
You could say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat with them in VR, it's so good. If you think you should check in, yeah, you should.
Whatever gets you talking. Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Whatever gets you talking. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Jason, let's go see your room.
We are Ole Miss Rebels. As Mississippi's flagship university, we dig deeper, see farther, work harder. We pioneered human organ transplants. We helped prove Einstein's theory of gravitational waves. We are distinguished as a Carnegie R1 top 2.5% research institution. We are Ole Miss, transforming lives and the world.
Welcome back. I'm Campbell Holmes with Sports Watch. Well, the Lady Rebs from the basketball team fell short to one of the country's hottest teams this afternoon, losing to Notre Dame in the second round of the NCAA tournament. Notre Dame took an early advantage on their own home court after scoring 8 shots in a row, and early foul trouble did not help the Rebs as the Irish kept adding up chances for points at the free throw line. Even though the Rebs did not take the win, star Madison Scott secured 15 points along in double figures, making it her 12th game in a row. This game, with a score of 71-56, wrapped up Ole Miss's third consecutive time at the tournament and ended their season with an outstanding record of 24-9. And this past weekend, the softball team took on the Georgia Bulldogs. Sports reporter Maggie Galili was there to catch all the action.
This past weekend, the Ole Miss Rebels softball team competed in a thrilling 3-game series against the Georgia Bulldogs. Due to rain, the first game of the series got postponed until the following day. This made for an exciting doubleheader for the Rebels against the Dogs. In the first game, the score was a steady 0-0 all the way until the 6th inning, where the Bulldogs earned 5 points, leading the scoreboard 5-0. The game ended in tragedy for our Rebs, who got shut out 7-0. 45 minutes later, the second game began, and the Rebels were determined to tie up the series. A huge play by Georgia in the second inning gave the Dogs a lead of 3-0. The Rebels responded with back-to-back home runs, making the score 3-2, still in favor of the Georgia Bulldogs. By the end of the 6th inning, the Dogs had scored 4 points, and our Rebels trailed even after earning 3 more points, making the score 7-5. At the end of the 7th inning, the Rebels came back and tied the game 7-7. Unfortunately, after extra innings, the Rebels fell short with a score of 10-7. The third and final game of the series was much like the first. The score was tied 1-1 all the way until the final inning, where the Dogs scored 3 points, putting the final score at 4-1. Although the Rebels lost the series 3-0 to the Georgia Bulldogs, it was an exciting 3 games over at the Ole Miss softball complex. This is Maggie Luley with NewsWatch Ole Miss, Hottie Toddy.
The Lady Rebs hope to bounce back as they host another SEC series this weekend versus South Carolina. First pitch for Game 1 is set for 6 p.m. at the Ole Miss softball complex and will also be aired on SEC Network Plus. And the baseball team traveled this past weekend to Knoxville to take on the Vols, and they fell short in the series finale. The Vols were able to get 5 home runs yesterday to secure the series win at home. And even with the loss, Ole Miss was able to score their first run in the second inning with Luke Hill, Rager Burford, and Campbell Smithwick all hitting singles to the outfield. These Rebs are already back in Oxford and ready to host a midweek matchup tomorrow against Austin Peay at Swayze Field. And even though some Rebel teams were not able to secure wins this past weekend, the women's tennis team was able to win yesterday as they took down number 21 ranked Alabama 5-2. Rebs stayed hot all day long as junior Rachel Kryzak added a win for the team, making it her 40th in her career. These Rebs will be heading to Columbia, South Carolina for the matchup with the Gamecocks on Friday. Then we'll be traveling south to Gainesville to play the Gators on Sunday. And that's all I've got for sports, so be sure to follow us on X at Rumble_Watch for the latest sports updates. But don't go anywhere because NewsWatch Ole Miss will be right back.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never gonna let you go. Never gonna let
If you have a dog and your dog is a digger, then you know they turn up all kinds of weird stuff buried in the dirt.
But a pooch in Florida recently dug up something you've probably never seen in your yard or anyone else's, a piece of unexploded military ordnance. Nicholas Brooks has more.
Not for all of you, I don't think, but I do have some. All right, so speaker, you want? All right, who else wants the other? No, I'm going to do.
Well, before we close out today, let's check back in with weather anchor Garyana Williams for a reminder of what kind of weather we should be expecting this evening.
As we're continuing to look out into the evening, we can see that the rain is constantly continuing to persist throughout the evening, and we're seeing that the thunderstorms are continuing to get worse. So as we look out into our 5-day forecast, we can see that the rain is going away throughout the week and the sun is coming out. So if you have plans throughout this weekend, make sure that they are still planned, because you will be able to go outside and enjoy this warm weather that is coming in.
Thank you, Garyana, and thank you to all of you for tuning in. I'm Olivia Wright.
And I'm Walker Farmer with your latest news.
I'm Kimball Holmes with Sports Watch.
And with Stormwatch, I'm Garyana Williams.
Be sure to keep up with us on our socials and tune in tomorrow at 5. NewsWatch Ole Miss, where we keep it live and keep it local.